Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now today's episode, as I'm sure you're well aware of by now in today's game, issuers are more and more strict, more and more picky on who they're going to improve. It seems like 524 is spread everywhere, pop-up jail is expanding, and even though we love to take credit inquiries like Skittles around here, it's just getting harder, which means we have to be more intentional with the credit cards that we pick next. So today I'm going to run through some criteria on how I decide which card is right for me, what I'm going to pick next, and some ways you can think about this as well. So of course, if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, if you've been around here for a while, you know we like to say shoot or shoot, and we take credit inquiries like people pop Skittles, meaning that, we're not really concerned about applying for credit cards or credit inquiries. And truth be told, I'm still not worried about those things. However, the issuers are, and approvals are getting harder and harder to come by. The great irony of this game is 524, which is Chase's infamous rule. If you've had 5 new credit card accounts open in the last 24 months, it's an instant decline. Now that was with Chase at a time where all we did was want Chase cards, but now Chase cards have significantly fallen off, yet everyone else seems to have adopted 524 at a time where other issuers are getting better cards, namely Citi, Wells Fargo are two that come to mind, let alone the credit inquiry game. So whether we care or not about shooting our shot, the banks care, and we might as well be a little bit more calculated with it because it is going to start to matter. It's already started mattering. So I recently went through this where I've got quite a few cards, as you can see in the wallet here. These aren't all of them, but I keep some in my actual wallet. I don't actually carry this thing. And so I kept getting denied for the next card I wanted, which as many of you know now is the beloved autograph Journey card, and I finally got approved for it. And I believe this is a really good card. It's a really good card for me. Some of you may not think this is a really good card for you, and you'd probably be correct, and that's what led us to this video. How did I pick this card for this example, and what are some things I go take into account when trying to pick out my next credit card, given that I can't just put up a million shots and take the Westbrook approach to everything now. So how do we know if a card's right for you, worth considering? Well, of course, this sort of assumes you have a base set of cards, but it works even if you don't. So the very first one to take a look at is intro offers. There's perfectly fine reason to sign up for a card because it has a high intro offer. The Journey had a $600 intro offer. Easy enough, pretty good for me, as where now I have to start passing up some cards with lower tier intro offers unless they meet these other criteria for me to take a look at. If it's before, I've had the Huntington card for like $100, a Venmo card for $200, the Rocket Mortgage card for $200, because I didn't really care, right? It's money is money, right? I'm here for all of it, but now I need to start to care more. These inquiries, these applications need to go farther. So that was pretty self-explanatory. Even a terrible card like the American Express Graphite card, the business Graphite, terrible card, $1,500, $2,000 intro offer, kind of elevates it up in my opinion, right? So easy enough. Now, the other one you might want to consider is if you're newer to the game, but it doesn't have to be newer, is are you going to try out a card potentially? That is really what intro offers are for. They're to attract new customers, but then also to get you to try something new, like a free sample, if you will. That way, you see this a lot more on the higher annual fee cards because they've got more to offset, but they've got a harder roadblock to sell given it's a $700, $800, $900 annual fee. So I need to offer you something, a teaser, if you will. But there's nothing wrong with trying out a product. If you're going to try a product, you should get paid to do so. I love to bash the platinum card and the gold card and the coupon books of the world. But, one way you come to the conclusion on if these cards are good for you is not because someone on YouTube with affiliate links wanted you to buy the product, but you get the product, you try it, you legitimately see if it is worth your opinion. I also see this a lot with airline and hotel cards, especially with going back and forth trying to figure out which status program is right for you. You may want to try another airline, so you might as well pick up one of their cards in the process, see if you like it. You can always dump it after year number 2. Going into the next one kind of lends itself to it, trying it out, is 1 year use or rentals. If you have something coming up major that you could use a lot of Hilton points, for example, but you don't see yourself being a Hilton Aspire longtime card holder, but you might get value in that intro offer, that could make a lot of sense. I've done this. I've specifically picked a travel card partly for the intro offer, and then because I knew it was going to be time to renew my TSA or my I have global entry for whatever reason, but it was going to be time to renew my global entry. So the last time I was like, I need to get ready to renew this, I might as well get an intro offer plus that $120 credit. I think it's gone up a little bit now, but when I did, it was $120 to renew global entry. Of course, get you pre-check as well. Then you look at that and you're like, oh, that's a little bit extra value. I'm definitely not going to keep this card, but it's a 1 year rental. I got something out of it and that I needed. If you're going someplace, it could be for temporary lounge access for a year or a certain thing. Maybe you need a specific benefit, whatever it may be. 1 year rentals, totally fine. And then again, you can also look to, on top of that, look to product change, which we're going to get into in a little bit later. But that's another one that I take into consideration. Another one here is, does it unlock the potential to get more offers? Another one that I'm sort of considering. This might not be around at the time of taping, but I don't really care for American Express cards, right? But American Express has this weird rule with their checking accounts where they want you to have a credit card with them, a personal credit card. I have business credit cards with them. They want a personal credit card, and then you can apply for their checking account. So at the time of taping, there's this E-Trade offer, a Morgan Stanley offer for the Blue Cash Plus, the blue, whatever the dark blue one is, the 6% grocery one. And this Morgan Stanley offer, again, might not be around when you're watching this, but it waives the annual fee in year number 1. Pretty good. It has a $350 intro offer. Pretty good. Not the highest. The highest is $400, but $350 for free. Still pretty good. And it would also unlock the American Express checking account offer, which at the time of taping is $300. Again, might not be around when you're watching this. So you're talking about one card gets me $650. I don't know that you need to have the credit card to get the personal savings offer from American Express too, but it would definitely increase the likelihood that you would be targeted for it as well. If you've got 2 of those 3 products, they're probably going to want you to get the savings account. Now, I don't think I'm going to get that card specifically, and we'll talk about that in the next one, but there are certain products. Now, normally we see this in reverse, where a deposit account unlocks better credit card offers. Bank of America is famous for this. But either way, I have considered that card because of that intro offer is pretty good, waives the fee, and it unlocks a checking account that I do want the intro offer for. Could also take that into consideration. Now, setup, roadmap, specific use, and product change. I kind of group this all together, and this is really what gets me into, the journey card, if you will. The intro offer, of course, but this is really it. And when I look at my setup overall, obviously, as you know, I've been trying to 5X everything. Mr. 5X everything, as Uncle Luke said years ago, and I think it's stuck. The t-shirts are on the printer. And so when I really look at it, travel was my weakest category. I do go places on occasion, and I'd still want a card. I had options, right? I could swap into one of my Bank of America customized cashes into travel, but with the Bank of America nerfs coming up, that'll drop down to 4.5% for me. Still not bad, but you take that, the valuation, plus you also don't have the travel insurances, which I would like. Well, you can see how this card fits in very nice. You've got 5X flights, 4X hotels booked directly. I don't really want to go through a bunch of portals. Plus, you also have a very easy to use travel credit, $50 back on an airline. Book directly. Don't have to do anything, hoops or anything like that to jump through. So this fits my setup perfectly, and that's why I've had such a crush on the Wells Fargo autograph Journey card this long. This is why this card may not be good for you. In fact, it's probably not the card that you want, because you probably aren't that person. But I am that person. I don't see this really. It's a travel card for people who like cash back, which I am. So this card fits me perfectly. Again, hits the setup. Now, roadmap, again, I'm getting this pretty late in the game. You've seen all my cards again in the old wallet here. But travel, not really high up on my list of worries, honestly. I do it, but not enough or not to the a level of expense enough that would have warranted sacrificing one of those cards up front, be it another custom cash card, be it the ink cash, be it the Amazon card. Once I've gotten all those and I'm running out of things to get, that's where it's later in my roadmap. But if you like to go a ton of places, you'd want to move up your travel card up farther up. I would simply lay out the categories that you spend the most in and try to match up a credit card to them. If you take into account your setup, you can also map out, make sure it earns the points currency you're looking at, things of that nature. For me, again, cash is cash, so I don't have to worry about the points currency. Specific use, again, we've kind of covered it. For me, it's a specific use for travel, but a lot of my cards, they could have potential multiple uses, but they're specific use. For example, the Cash Plus is very specific. Gym memberships and utilities. It has other powers, don't care about them. The Ink Cash, same thing, has other powers. Use it for cell phone and internet. But by the time you get later in the game, you're going to be looking for things to cover specific uses, and I think that's totally fine. One card I'm considering is the PayPal credit card. Doesn't check the intro offer box. It's only $50. That's kind of why it got knocked down so far. But you can pay income taxes through PayPal, which at 3% the PayPal card would be the best way to do it, I think, outside of chasing an intro offer. My car insurance and some of my homeowners insurances, I believe, take PayPal as well. So again, you can see farther down the roadmap, specific use, because I have other options, but at the same time, still on the roadmap. And then product changing is the other one. I want more custom caches. I don't really need more custom caches, but life's better with custom cache, right? So why not just get all of them? And so I might put the City Strata Premier or Strata Elite. Strata Premier is a good card. Strata Elite's a terrible card, but I would still get them. They hit the intro offer. They don't immediately help my setup or my roadmap. However, that's a longer play to the roadmap, because then I can product change from that to a custom cash card, which would help my setup and would fit into the roadmap and would definitely be a specific use. Custom cash cards are very specific use cards, which is probably the best example of that. Mine are for gas and food right now, dining right now. So definitely take that into account. Well, you see if a lot of folks like to do is to get to like the Ritz-Carlton card, for example, for Marriott. They might pick a Marriott card on the Chase side they don't love, keep it for a year, and so they can roadmap out to get to the Ritz-Carlton card. Something to keep in mind, product changing is a great strategy. It's really why I don't churn nearly as many credit cards as you think, because most of them, especially in the cashback space, have helpful product change partners that you can use. That's how I ended up with like 3 customized cash cards from Bank of America, 2 custom cash cards from Citi, 5 Freedom cards, So the last one here on the list, I think, is limited time or crazy powerful. And this is very rare that we see this, but limited time and crazy powerful. The one that comes to mind is Smartly. I had the Smartly card for technically I still have it. I don't use it anymore. I had it for like 6-8 months, however long it lasted, and that was a 4% card. Under the old terms, if you had $100,000 in a brokerage account with them, you got 4% back. That card, it definitely wasn't on my roadmap anytime soon. It just kind of came out of nowhere, and we were very surprised. And no one was a bigger fan of Smartly than myself, but it was so insanely powerful that to me, it takes out all those other qualifiers we just listed. Plus, it's not going to be around that long. I can't really think of anything else that powerful that we've seen. The other one would be limited time. I'd also put intro offers in. You don't see, this is very rare. Like Ramp had a credit card. They still have it, but they had an intro offer that was like $1,500 back for like spending $1,000 and like making the payment or something like that, I want to say. We'll probably never see that again, but that's such an insane intro offer that I think it's very, and it should be rare, because I'm talking about blowing up your roadmap, your setup, and all that to deviate for something. If you're going to do all that, then it should be a huge deal, and those are examples of huge deals, in my opinion. So all that to say, these are some factors I try to look at now while I'm trying to plan out what my next card is, given how strict issuers are and how hard it is to get. Trust me, in a perfect world, I wouldn't care and I would just keep firing off applications. And I did that. The last time I did that was probably 2024, but it's mid 2026 by the time you're watching this. And we've simply seen the game change, which means I have to be more intentional with the offers I get to figure out where I want to go, how I want to finish out this setup, and then just maybe intro offer chase or something after that. And for right now, I kind of leave room open in case anything new comes out, but I'm being more intentional. I've got about 2 slots left under this 524 thing, and I've got to pick what I want to do. And these are the criteria I'm going to follow. So let me know down below, what do you think about the criteria, or some at least thoughts that you don't have to follow it hard and fast, but guiding principles maybe in this stricter world of applications. Let me know how you play out, what cards you're going to get next, or are you still out there putting up the good fight of shoot or shoot? I sure hope someone is. But anyways, guys, that'll do it for this one. So, of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. So we're posting content just like this every single week. And, of course, right back every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And, of course, every single day over on ProfitableContent.com, which is the channel's blog. Always linked down below for you and on the channel homepage. We have the latest news stories, bank promotions, and credit card offers. Everything you need to know to get started on your criteria. Anyways, guys, that'll do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.